Welcome back, Prospects Esports Racing League, round 11, 2 weeks from the finale. This is the Grand Prix of Britain at Silverstone, one of the most historic racetracks, longest tenured racetracks in F1. I am Feldman 9000, joined by Just Real Gaming. What's going on, bro?
Hey, how's everybody doing? Good to be here as always for Prospects. Always a good showing.
So it occurred to me about 15 minutes ago that Britain had its daylight savings time, so I had to punch it back an hour and rush to get back in here. So now that we're all on the same page, daylight savings time is the best time and should just be that way because everybody needs an extra hour of daylight.
Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't matter because we're still here now. So we're here for Silverstone for the penultimate race of the season. And Feldman, I gotta say, I'm very excited for this race.
It's coming down to the wire here, I do believe, after what happened last week, where the championship completely just spit in the face of Sam. Was it Sam? Sam, whatever the name was. I'm drawing a blank right now on everything, but basically the person that was in second, Sam Brooks. There we go. Okay. Yeah. We are live on YouTube. Sam Brooks had the opportunity to actually take the lead in points, and then all hell broke loose, and it just swung back in the direction of the points leader, which would be. I'm looking at the list. It takes me forever to get through Discord to look at things. It's pretty terrible. But anyways, the after that race, basically the points leader. But went into that race, who was in doubt of losing his points lead, gained it back, and ultimately probably locked up the championship. And I believe there's a chance that can completely go through today. We will see what happens. Try to get a breakdown here.
I've learned a quick lesson yesterday, actually, when I was doing commentary with Lemony Tang. So there is 12 races throughout the season, and they actually take away the 2 lowest points race finishes for all of the drivers. So anything can happen when it comes to the season finale, but now it looks like we're about to start short qualifying with a 26-lap race here around Silverstone.
26 laps. This track is fairly long, but just to give you a rundown of what the points sit at right now. Got Guelphy in first. That's the name I was looking for. I was getting him confused with Folksy. Guelphy's in first in the Williams, 136 after last week's race. Sam Brooks took the L on getting 0 points last week. He's at 92. That puts them basically just under a full race behind. So if hell breaks loose today for Guelphy and Brooks wins this race, then we're right back in it. But Brooks, I know they dropped the last 2, but it's going to be severely hurting if Brooks doesn't score points in this race and Guelphy owns it running away with it, then we're going to have some issues. But Leclerc, who has been hit or miss this season in races, not complete season, he's third at 84. Simster fourth at 81. And then David Boyer fifth at 65. Boyer had a really good race last week. Thought he had a chance to win that and did not come through in the end. As for constructors, we got 207 for Williams, 175 for Alpine, and McLaren at 145. Aston Martin at 119. Do we have Patty Pat is in this week? I'm dropping the Patty Mayonnaise thing because nobody knows what that reference is but me, supposedly. So we'll just go back with what Patty Pat is, and it's the P9. And here we go. We got, see if there's anybody new. Drunk Pirate returns this week from something. Drunk Pirate's back after a leave of absence. New name, of course, we have new Ferrari drivers this week, of course. Spectre and Mellow Space. Let's see if they can get something done in that equipment. Les Albos come on very late in the season. Kind of fell off last week. Got Harris running this week with Albo in the Aston Martin. I'll go ahead and bring up the stats or details.
Yep, and it looks like the first person that's going to be setting themselves a lap is going to be the returnee of Drunk Pirate. Had to take a leave of absence for personal reasons, but he is back, and what a time to be back at his home Grand Prix as well. He's really going to be looking to try and get a good result on his return. But let's see if he's going to do it. He has a lot of drivers around him that are really going to push him to his limits.
Dylan showed some poise last week, but ultimately I believe fell short. Simster also looking to capitalize as Lizalbo is out. I don't know if he's taking a penalty or what, but he is grayed out, so he is not. We'll be starting from the back.
Well, let's see this now. But what would you say would be your opinion on the British Grand Prix, the Silverstone circuit, Feldman?
It is. I like the track. It's just not something that completely stands out. The old track, where you went by like the airplane hangar and stuff, that was, wide open. But I don't like. It's a solid track for me. It's not my top. Definitely not my top 5, but there's a lot worse tracks on the circuit than this. It's a good way. It's definitely a speed track. There's probably 3 sections that are a bit technical that will, slow down the pace of the race. You got to make sure you have enough grip through there, but I don't think it's a good track. I think you can manage your tires on if you're good at doing that and maintain pace. But we should see a good race here. It's spaced out. There's going to be really no crapshoots, hard breaking into hairpins or anything like that. It's fairly wide open.
Well, I mean, we could be seeing some into the Vale chicane, as it is the penultimate corners of the Silverstone circuit. But I think the one thing that really makes the Silverstone circuit pretty unique is that they don't just do Formula One; they also do group cars. They've done MotoGP, if I do remember correctly. And actually, the fun fact here, so you see where Formula One starts, right at the end of Club on the Hamilton Straight.
Mm-hmm.
In group cars, they actually start after Woodcut, which is this straight right here on board with Drunk Pirate. This starting grid right here, that is where the group cars start, and then turn 1 for them is right here at Cops Corner. Then they make their way towards Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel.
Yeah, the slowest part of this course is where he's not going through that right now. It is right where the start-finish line is, because it's such a slow, sweeping kind of hair. It's just, you go into the one corner, it cuts back at about just over 90 degrees, or just under 90 degrees, I guess. It's a little bit back more in, and it sweeps. It's such a slow corner around the outside, but if you get out of it too early, you're going to end up loose. Otherwise, it's about the most technical portion. Anybody set a lap yet? We have not. I did go to as I said, Drunk Pirate. There's our setting bar early on, 127, 327. Oh, he's still purple. Let's see who we're going to have next. Arctic Penguin behind him, 127, 668. What do you anticipate in this pole time to be?
I mean, I'm thinking that if it's early on and we see a 127.3, I'm pretty sure a pole sitter could be around 126.8, probably a 126.7, because as the time goes in qualifying, as always in qualifying, there's going to be more rubber on the track. Like, it's going to give these drivers a little bit more grip. They're going to just go faster as time goes along.
On board now with our Sam Brooks second in points. So he looks to set a time right here. I don't believe this is his outlap. So it looks like McLaren's not got 2 rides this week, unless Leclerc's coming in later or fill in. So it looks like it's just Patty Pat. Sam Brooks 127 420. But any update on what's up with the other McLaren?
I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure. Well, Leclerc has been gone for a few races now. I think the last race that we saw him at was at Portimao, and that was a few weeks ago. So I'm not entirely sure what's happening with Leclerc. However, we will always miss him until he makes his beautiful return to prospects. But for the time being, he's going to be taking a little bit of a break, I do believe.
Okay, Guitar Man Khan crossing the line here. Let's see what he sets. Right now, 128.24, definitely behind the pace. Let's see who we got next. We have, is that Boyer? Yes, it is Boyer. Let's see what he's got. He is on softs. Across the line. Takes third right now. 127, 647 is still very early. Bubber's 128, 509. So Drunk Pirate looking to make his comeback to the season after being gone. He's obviously somebody that had the opportunity to win the championship, but now also reunited with his teammate Sam Brooks, I believe. They are both Alpine, correct?
Yes, you are correct there. And still sitting with the fastest laps out there so far, front row, but there's still more than half of the drivers still yet to put in a time. And looks like we have a yellow flag of, I believe that is Harris, around the Vale chicane. And that's what you were talking about earlier, that slow sweeping left-hander to the right-hander can really, really take drivers off guard, and we saw Harris representing that.
Yeah, it's not overly technical, but there's enough technical portions here. It's a good layout that mixes up both speed and technicality for grip, and it allows for pushing the limits while, if you have the ability to manage these tires, then you can come out on top.
And it looks like we have another spin out on the field, and it's going to be on the Cup's corner of Spectriv. And that is the one thing about these fast sweeping corners, even with the slow sweeping corners of the Vale chicane. You just got to watch that throttle. Doesn't matter if you're going on a straight, doesn't matter if you're taking a turn, doesn't matter how fast you're going as well on those corners. You just got to watch out for that, and a few people actually getting caught off guard. But fun fact, actually, CSB Harris was actually in the Red Bull yesterday, if I do remember correctly, here at Silverstone, reserving, and he actually got crashed out early on in the race. So it looks like he's going to be trying to make it back up here in Tier 2, but still 10 odd minutes left in qualifying. He still needs to put in a sort of time.
Folksy sneaks there on the mediums at 6 on mediums, not even on softs. Another fun fact, Lewis Hamilton finished 10th in the race on Sunday in Saudi Arabia. Didn't even know if he scored points or not.
Yeah, 10th place would be points. That would be exactly 1 point.
Somebody had to tell him. Good stuff.
But yeah, I just think that's the one thing with the Mercedes. They're just struggling this year. Same with the McLaren, especially at Bahrain, but brought it back a little bit. And Saudi Arabia. Yeah, exactly.
Lando finishing where he was at was impressive. I'm not sure if that was on strategy or exactly how that played out. Lewis Hamilton, gained 5 positions, but there were 3 DNFs in front of him. So, but Russell clearly outdrove him, and this season is going exactly how I'm hoping it went, with Ferrari with 1 win. Probably should have won that on Sunday, but is what it is. That was good racing, and that's what I want to see. I want to see 2 guys going for a championship that actually respect each other, that won't be trying to wreck each other, that want to race. So it's got me excited for the rest of the season, and as long as Mercedes stays back and some of these mid packs have a chance to, hey Haas, you got to pull for the American team. We got Haas with Schumacher had a good run, but had a bad wreck.
Yeah. Because that was during qualifying, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a pretty bad wreck during qualifying. He was outpacing Magnussen in qualifying, so I hope Mick comes around. He's slated to be Ferrari's next driver down the road whenever Sainz or Leclerc bolts.
I think it would be Sainz first between those two. But actually, talking about
Leclerc is in the race. Leclerc's in the race.
We were talking about him earlier. Yeah. And Owen has crashed out at Cup's corner. And I think if we go on board with Captain Jack or Drunk Pirate, we'll actually see the damage on the right side of the track. And that's what I was talking about there earlier. That corner really messes up a lot of people, even if you're just doing qualifying. Just the overall power, and it just messes up, especially if you hit that curb a little bit on the wrong spot as well.
Now, Sam Brooks having his proper teammate back, do you think that will help assist in trying to run down and get this championship?
Oh, without a doubt, to be honest with you, without a doubt. They could still have an opportunity to get at least 1 trophy between each other at the end of the season. But to be honest with you, still anything can happen throughout the season, and hopefully these drivers give it their all. But knowing these drivers, as Captain Jack actually just improves his fastest lap by 82 thousandths of a second, a 127.246. It just really shows that these 2 drivers have been on a different level throughout the season, and it just shows in the points as well.
So Arctic Penguin came in with the fastest Sector 2, steals second, only 4 1,000ths of a second behind Drunk Pirate. If he hadn't upped his game on that previous lap, then Penguin would be sitting on pole. But I'm still thinking we're going to hit these 126, but it might only be a 126.9. I know we got 7 minutes left, but these guys are on softs. You might see a 126.8 might be what actually takes the pole. But then we're asking them to shave off almost half a second from what they've done now. So we will see if it even breaks 126.
Well, we're just going to have to wait and see. Simster not getting used to Silverstone with that lap. A 149 for him. So really struggling here at Silverstone. And I think that's the one thing about this track. It's so difficult to get used to with these sweeping corners, and it takes out one of the best drivers in real life and in what's it called in online leagues as well. So
Yeah, it's one of those courses where I have memorized, but there's such variable factors. If you're carrying, if you take it for granted that you'll be overshooting a corner like it has the proper paths, like it's a very misleading. God, he goes 127, 176. So Drunk Power keeps chinking at the Army here. 126.5 is doable in Lazalbo's opinion, as he is not in quali. But they're going to have to really up it if they're going to shave off more than half a second.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see. But in the chat right now, we have Chaos Druid that was in the chat earlier. We have LZ Elbow who had to take an early leave. His opinion says 126.5 is doable.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's I'm sure it is, but he's also familiar with Tier 2 or Tier 1. I'm sorry, but we got T-Mouse up and in here now, getting into the 127. So let's look at our pace there. It's like those top four are going to be the contenders, but somebody can sneak in. You mentioned Simster. Well, I guess I won't mention Simster now because he's out. Simster usually will put it together for one lap to quali to get in there to make a tight time, but he is out of quali along with Owen and Lazalbo. Pat. Number 2. 127, 217. Sneaking in the orange, but what's his teammate going to pull out of his sleeve, who's still in the pits? Got 4 guys. Silva's finally coming up with 4 guys. I've not set a time yet. I keep thinking Lazalba is a Tier 1 driver. I guess he's Tier 2. I thought he came from Tier 1.
Well, he reserves in Tier 1 sometimes here and there. So he does have LZ Elbow, he does have that sort of experience, let's say, in Tier 1 with some of the reserving. But yeah, extraordinary time there from Patty Pat. Just a few hundredths of a second off of pole position, and I'm not too sure. Is he going for another one here?
I believe so, but he's not purpling anything or greening anything. He might just be coming back around. Yeah.
He's easing off, yeah.
T-Mouse coming back in the pits. Bubbers is out on the track here. I think he might be... He's 7. He's the highest in the grid. He'll be coming around again. He's got a Ferrari right behind him. Is that a Ferrari? Who's the red?
The red, it would be a Ferrari.
Oh, okay.
Wait, but a red behind who?
Got by now from Bubbers. Back camera angle, couldn't tell. Okay.
That would be Spectre. Spectre is currently on an outlap. And hasn't validated that outlap as well.
Yeah, Lazalbo chiming in. I was about to say the same thing. Folks, he might just steal this thing right quick. He is very fast. Let's see what he's got here coming around the final bend, whatever corner you call that. Very tricky corner as well. Coming across the line, and he goes 6. 127, 639. You look quick.
The disappointment in your voice just then. Damn, Feldman. He comes across the line and he gets 6. Okay.
Yep. It's just it's the suspense. Spectre still in his outlet. Let's see what Bubbers has got here. If he can improve on that 8th, as he is hoping to use that. Well, he's coming to the pits. Screw him. Misleading.
Well, I think one person that could be on a good lap here is going to be Tito Silva. Still yet to set up a time, as he's now entering the Vale chicane. I'm thinking it could be a 127, like a high 127, possibly a low 28, or actually a high 128. But still, 11th position. He's in the lead of the free tire choice runners for the time being. Of course, they're still waiting on Dylan and Spectre, but I don't believe Leclerc will be exiting out of the pit lane, as he has joined in midway of qualifying.
Got Crew Streamers on his outlap. The other McLaren was Folksy here. Is Folksy trying to set it again? No, he's just going around.
Ooh, actually, I think we might have to keep an eye on Dylan here. A purple sector 2, as he now enters up Stowe, turn 15, towards the Vale chicane. What sort of time are we going to be seeing from him now? 3 corners left.
Like I said, Dylan had a good run last week, I believe, in quali. He was quick at certain points. I don't think he finished the race, though, so... What we got here across the line, eating that cheese. It takes 5th. 127, 354. Oh, they're sandwiched in there, isn't he? Brooks has got to get his shit together if he's going to try to win this championship. He's going to push it here towards the end. We got a minute 45 left, so he's going to have time basically for one more lap. Folksy is settling in at 127.639. He is out. Drunk Pirate right now, the teammate to Sam Brooks, is currently in front of him and currently on pole. So double neck here. It'd be nice if Drunk Pirate, well, not to be biased. What if Drunk Pirate will slow down and try to help Sam Brooks get some drafting to help speed things up? Or slipstream, whatever you call it.
Here, let me quickly check actually for you. He's actually on his fastest Sector 1 that he has done so far. Currently up by 0.02 of a second for the time being. So I don't think he's going to be easing up at all because he still has Patty Pat crossing the line now to start a new fast lap. You also have Arctic Penguin trying to finish his outlap as well. So Sam Brooks is just going to have to pull his own at this point, and Drunk Pirate needs to get up there as well. He's now into Sector 3 up by 1/10. So he could be getting into the 126.9s here.
I'm going to take that air off of that Alpha in front of him as he comes into one of the better corners on the circuit. But now down into the hard chicane and then the sweep to the right. What do we got here? Didn't go purple in 3 yet.
Hey, he's done it!
Hey, he got it! They both take it! Back to back! Drunk Pirate improves his time and Sam Brooks steals it. Where is his competition right now? That would be... Wait, is he in there?
Wow.
Oh, there goes Patty. Pat. Spin around.
Oh no, round Cop's corner.
So...
And kind of just caught in front of Cruise Steamers on that one as well. And they're both actually invalidated. But what an ending for the Alpine duo of Drunk Pirate and Sam Brooks. Hopefully,
Guelphy's not even running this week.
No, he's not. So I guess that's the only driver that we're missing out on here tonight.
I guess we're going to have a Super Bowl next week then, unless Sam Brooks wrecks out. Oh, that's a free... Yeah, well, right now it's looking like Brooks is in line to... He's starting in the front. Unless somebody's got something here like Boyer or Penguin.
Yeah, Boyer is down by 9/10. Well, 9 seconds actually, not 9/10. But yeah, Drunk Pirate and Sam Brooks, both of the Alpines on the front row as it stands for now. Do you think that they're actually going to go all out into turn 1 and actually recreate what both Ocon and Fernando Alonso did back at Saudi Arabia?
Nah, it's a little bit different. Well, I don't see like that unless Drunk Pirate is that menacing to want to get a victory. But right now, if you're a teammate, you want to help your other teammate if you get a chance for a championship. Basically, Brooks doesn't need to mess up. He has to finish in the points here to be a contender. He's getting a gift this week after what happened last week. He's got a chance to get right back in this. If he wins this race, then we have a legit championship. It comes down to one race, a Super Bowl. Now, I guess you're going to have the lowest points come off or whatever, and I don't know what those details are. But you're going to have one race to rule them all. And we're kind of set in there. What impressed you most in quali? Leclerc didn't even set a time, so he's out.
He couldn't go out. He joined it midway, and that actually helps prevent it being a glitch lobby. But that actually is going to round up qualifying, and the person that impressed me the most, I'm actually going to say T-Mouse, because he's just come back. Well, of course, Captain Jack getting into the top step as well. But both of them just impressed me. With a good comeback, T-Mouse hasn't even touched his console for 2 weeks. So he's really rusty, but still coming with the seventh fastest. You got Captain Jack with his teammate on the front row, breaking into the 126.9s. So I'd say both of them have impressed me here tonight.
I get a nod of Patty, Pat, and then David Boyer. Oh, we got 26 laps around Old Britain here. Old Maggie. Brooks, Sam Brooks, Pirate, Pat, David Boyer, Penguin, Dylan, Mouse, Folksy, Bubbers, Cruise Streamers, your top 10, all basically separated. Well, the first two are separated by 12 one-thousandths of a second. Otherwise, that mid-pack from about 3rd to 6th or even 7th, 8th. It's all close. It's going to be fun mid-pack. I do see things spreading out here just because of the lay of the track. So if you're good in clean air, you're going to build some distance. And I don't think we're going to see DRS being that big of an issue down the stretch in this game. But hopefully, we avoid safety cars. So we'll have to see.
Well, these drivers in Tier 2 always put on a good show, no matter which track they are at. And now another steer, another challenge for these drivers. It is now raining here at Silverstone, and it looks like it's going to be intermediate tires. So hopefully these drivers remember to put on their wet setups, and if they did not, they're going to be the ones to fall behind at this point.
Of course it will rain in England. When does it not rain in England?
I mean, that's fair, but...
Yeah. Watch soccer, eat fish and chips, and just die in the rain. Welcome to England. So everything's out the window now. We got one of those Mercedes is just really camming in there, and they're just bopping.
Yeah, I guess he's showing that AlphaTauri are really good time just ahead of him, but if not, he's being Ramon from cars with the hydraulics. I'm not too sure if that's in the regulations of Formula One, but looks like it's being allowed at the start of this race.
Well, they're not full on wet start intermediate, so there's a chance that it could stop. Or it could get worse because it just never stops raining. Last week we had wet quali in Spa and then a regular race. I believe it rained, 20 years in a row at Spa for the races. So no point in showing what tires they're on.
Yeah, it's pretty much obvious what they're on. I'm just seeing green all over the place. Even in the garage, all you saw was those green tires being stacked up right at the doors. But with this race start, who do you think is going to be getting the... Let's say who would be the best driver out there for you? Like, who's going to be the one to watch?
Whoever starts on the outside. So, I mean, that's the big thing. I think through here, starting the outside, yes, it's technically the first corner is on the right, but you make a right, then you make a left. But it's such a slight bend on that first corner that if you'd be faster on the outside, and if you can get around who's on the inside going into the tough chicane there in turn 3 and then into 4. You want to be on the outside. Basically, to me, Drunk Pirate has also shown better in the rain this year than Sam Brooks has, so Sam Brooks is now at a disadvantage.
I'm going to be honest, I actually disagree with you here, Feldman. I think starting on the inside is going to give them the best opportunity to get an overtake, because they can just try, they just need to stick with them between turns 1 and 2 while holding the inside line. And then when it comes to turn 3, try to take advantage of that position as you make your way around loop, but you are on the outside, and especially in these wet conditions, you're going to get on the power a lot quicker, and you might get the position that way. But anything can happen as well, and we are just seconds away from the red lights to start off this British Grand Prix penultimate race of the season.
Let's see if old Pat can get his first victory. See how good he is in the wet. We don't know. Wet weather racing changes everything. As we're ready to flash them pearly reds going to the... I don't know if I've ever heard pearly red before. Oh, the bright red to the bright green. It always takes too long here. I can't tell what's going on. Now they're solid. I can't... You got to change the camera view. You got to be kidding me.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, change the camera.
That could be that. And I'm just going to say we're going to go... Nah. And they are off. And on the outside is Drunk Pirate getting that push. Oh, they're struggling to get Griffin. I turn around, and Sam Brooks is the one that actually gets that spot, pushing way to the outside there. But Sam Brooks holding tight. Nope, take it back. Drunk Pirate did get around him. And he does exactly what he needed to do to get into that first spot and take that turn 3. Patty Pat way fell back. Boyer's in 3rd. Dylan 4th. They are aligned here. Boy, it is really a struggle to get things going in this race start.
Exactly, Pat not with the start that he wanted. Started in 3rd, already down to 8th, and has only been up to Brooklyn's now at the end of the Wellington Straight. And not a good start for him, but an amazing start for Drunk Pirate. Already 6/10 off on Sam Brooks, and now we're already seeing, as always, the Ferrari team at the back. The dread of the Ferraris continue here tonight. early on in this race as well.
Yeah, the team just has some bad luck. As you see Sam Brooks losing position. What did I tell you about that outside line to start the race?
But the outside line was Sam Brooks actually starting in first.
Never mind. So he had the right idea, but I guess it wasn't his decision. So he did lose out on that, but Drunk Pirate, I think, is just better in the wet than Sam Brooks.
Might get him now here, though. He has a faster exit around Chapel. He's looking around the outside, down the hangar, straight up Stowe. Has he gotten it now? He's still trying to fight it, but he just can't. David Boyer has that position.
You could tell he hesitated on wanting to cross him up. I think if with dry conditions, we would have saw something different there, but he hesitated because that grip is just not going to be there.
I think in dry conditions, we could definitely see a lot of things that would have been different. Potentially even Patty Pat still being in the front three because... Oh, and Gylfi just joined way too late. So now he's just going to watch and see his lead diminish a little bit as Arctic Penguin has a little bit of a slide there as he now goes side to side with the returning T-Mouse.
Ooh, side by side through the corner. Oh, they get squirrely. He's got position on the inside. Penguin, they are bumping. Good little bit of racing here in the wet. It's like they're waiting in the bathtub. And on top of that, Mouse gets nailed with a 3-second penalty. So all that for nothing there. Get that tacked on in the back. He's trying to catch Dylan now.
Oh, but Cruz Steamers now, he's looking on the inside of Patty Pat down Brooklands. And now on the outside of Luffield, has to yield though. He was looking for it, he was practically side to side, but Patty Pat just has the better traction through that corner as well.
So question, where did Lizalbo start this race?
That is a good question, and he actually started in 18th.
And he is now up to 10th in the wet. Running him down in the wet with the hacksaws. He's coming.
An amazing start for LZ Albo, serving the quali ban here tonight and utilizing that early pace to make his way back up into the points. Let's see if he can keep that momentum going.
He's got Bubbers right behind him, trying to make a move, busting the inside there. Where's this going to come at? He's got the right position. The Bubbers cannot make it happen. He had the slipstream there, but did not. Bubbers better watch his inside there because Simster's right behind him, trying to creep.
He is trying to get past. He wants to gain a lot of positions. A little bit of a bump there from Simster on the tail end. Is there again as well as Bubbers goes a little bit slippery on the exit.
Mouse is out.
Is now out around Club right before the Hamilton Straight. But it looks like the drivers are still allowed to go through. Looks like the marshal is going to be getting that car cleared as quick as possible. But Simster now towards Loop. Oh, and now has been updated to a virtual safety car.
So they'll take the pace because that rust came back to bite them. But I'm not sure what happened. You can always depend on going to the where the Ferraris are on the circuit to see where the accidents are. But still didn't see where it was off the track at. Spectre hadn't even gotten around him yet, so let's see if we can catch where Mouse is at.
Well, Mouse's car was just able to get off the track. It was actually on the final corner, right at the finish line as well. Just got on the throttle a little too much and crashed onto the inside wall.
Now, intermediates, if it stays well, that guy's got no helmet on. How's Folksy not have a helmet on? Did you mention that earlier?
I mean... Looks like he's really trying to test out the lightweight, the weight conditions for each of the drivers, and well, let's just say that he's gonna be sincerely drenched at the end of this race. I think that's gonna go for all of these drivers, but he's really gonna feel it today.
Yeah, we'll have to see here. A bit of action early on as people are seeing the cream of the crop coming to the top, and you see the people that struggle in the wet go to the back. Speaking of which, Lizalbo, top 10 in 3 laps. Let's go ahead and I can pull up the position change. Lizalbo up 9 spots, Simster up 7, Leclerc up 8. These are some of the more talented drivers on the circuit, not to take away from Pirate and Folksy, who was gaining 3 positions. Boyer also, once again, in second, out front early, but we don't really have to worry about pitting at all. It looks like we are off the virtual safety car. That's we're not going to show the tires. We'll show where everybody has moved in the race. You can put people in the pits, though. Bubbers and DeSilver trying to do something. Maybe they made contact? Yeah, they made contact.
Yeah, they have a front wing change, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is unfortunate to see. It is unfortunate to see. And as they now both scramble to try and get out of the pit lane now, you can see Bubba's right on the tail end of T De Silva on the exit there. But yeah, also we did just miss it though, actually, Feldman. Sam Brooks is now down to 4th after being in pole at the end of the quali. And right after the VSC ended, Folksy made a huge dive on Sam Brooks at the Vale chicane and takes that place up.
He's quite the opportunist, making it happen where it counts. But Sam Brooks is also watching his potential championship slowly slip away as them fingers come off the crest of the cliff. He starts to lose his grip. Hopefully he can rebound here. He's down 3 spots. He's starting to come back on Folksy. I have to get rid of this graphic on here. It's taking up too much of the screen. There we go.
No worries. But I'm actually looking at the chat now. Mouse is actually in the chat, and he says, well, that was short-lived. And that is unfortunate to see, Mouse. I mean, you still gave it a good effort. Started in 7th at the end of quali, and it is a huge challenge coming back after 2 weeks, not even touching a controller, and especially in a wet condition as well. Very difficult for this.
I mean, there's nothing more frustrating than wasting like 30 minutes of your time to prepare for a race and qualification, and all of a sudden you get, taken out in like the first or second lap, and you're just like, you know what? I'll retire. We'll do this again in a couple of years. Come back when I'm not as angry.
Yep, well, I don't know about years for Mouse. I think he'll be here next week for the season finale. And I hope he is, to be honest with you. I hope he is.
Folks are getting bold here, but Drunk Pirate's starting to run away with this in the rain. Who's out here now? Who's your top 5 wet weather racers in Tier 2 this year? I'll say top 3. I gotta go 5. We'll go 3.
I was about to say, yeah, that's a tough question for me because I only joined in midway, and I'm pretty sure this is my first wet race doing commentary on this year.
You sure? We had it. We went on a streak there where everything was wet for like 3 or 4 weeks, it seems like. I don't know.
Well, I remember the first race that I've commentated on was actually, I'm pretty sure it was actually with you, Feldman, back at Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we've had other commentators make their way in, and I think you're stuck with me at this point. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure every single race that I've been a part of has been dry until this one, to be honest with you.
I think so. The ones I did with Flipper Leon, most of them were wet, like including France. But Drunk Pirate definitely seems to stand out in the wet. As is Leclerc, Simster, and Lizalbo, as they can do the field. But Drunk Pirate's got this thing basically on lockdown. Brooks cannot find that opportunity to get around as we're still on board. With these two battling for 3rd and 4th, so he's trying to gain his position back.
And he's not going to be getting any help from DRS at all in these wet conditions. But I'm actually looking at it. It looks like the rain is starting to ease up just slightly. So we could be looking at a mixed race here, but Dylan is looking on the inside of Arctic Penguin. Their tires almost locking up around Loop, and now down Aintree, down the Wellington Straight. Arctic is able to hold on to that position. Dylan is going to try and look around the outside now, making the way towards Brooklands.
Shoo.
Oh, but Arctic closes the door.
Yeah, some really up-close camera views there, but Pat trying to get back in this thing. He came on hard there at the end. Look, he's got the faster car right now. But he just cannot find a spot to get around. See what happens here on this straight. One of these straights.
Corner. Really tough to get around this while keeping a lot of momentum. Because a lot of these drivers early on in this race, they don't want to push too hard in that corner because we already saw it take out Owen. We already saw it take out Harris. The only thing is, who's going to be the one that's going to be ballsy enough to make that position?
There goes Pat on the outside, getting ballsy. Is he gonna? He's going to try to maintain and push it. Does he get the grip? No, he still loses the. Does he get around though? Did he get around?
They're still side to side.
They're side by side. It's all wing camera. I can't see.
Yep, he's able to get it.
He got it.
The door on Dylan, and now Pat up to 7. Dylan trying to answer back. He's seriously close to the diffuser around that corner, but Pat is holding his own.
Let's see if Dylan pushes here into. He got that back end came on right there. Oh, they bump. Breaking late.
Contact.
Oh, he crosses him up inside.
He did this earlier with Arctic Penguin, and again, it does not prevail. But what about Sam Brooks? Folksy's going on the defensive inside line towards Brooklyn's. Can Sam Brooks make the way around the outside towards
Oh, he's wide. Break early.
He has the inside line now.
It's not going to work there. It's not going to work. Oh, they bump.
Oh, a little contact with the tires. And that could be giving Arctic an opportunity to get past as well.
He's definitely not missing out on this opportunity. He's up on the inside.
Oh,
he's got position right there. They better watch out. That's why we need spotters.
Woo, close quarter racing.
Yeah. In the wet.
In wet as well, yeah. I think the craziest thing I've seen was when 3 drivers are going 3 wide down Meggett's and Beckett's right now. But
Pat's just eyeing. Old Pat is just eyeing. Oh, somebody's hit the wall. Oh, that's crew streamers. That looked gnarly.
A major hit.
Yeah, that's gonna be a safety car.
Oh wow, that was a major collision, and it looks like David Boyer and Drunk Pirate both lose out on a free pit stop as well.
So they're gonna pit for other intermediates, or are we
they might have to. I don't think they would go for a set of 6 or a set of wets. I think just get another set of intermediates out there. If you have the opportunity to get fresh tires, why not?
Unless you're Drunk Pirate and you can nurse them home. Because in the wet, you don't have to pit, right?
Crap, that's a good question.
I believe wet weather racing, you don't have to pit.
I think you still have to pit, but you can actually pit on the same tire set. I think that's how it goes. I think that's how it's a little bit different.
Well, I guess you're gonna. Well, it's not gonna matter. They work their back around, but now we see some of the back coming up without having to pit. We got a Ferrari running at their highest they've run this year in 14th, and yeah, Patty Pat kind of woke up there in the wet. He's passed out in the field. Don't have to do 2 different comboings of tire, but you still have to pit. Yeah.
Yep.
Alright. So, yeah. Top 3, Drunky. Boyer, crazy.
You started turning into a, a pilot trying to tell, alright, we're making our way to the Miami International Airport. And we'll be there in the ETA about 3 hours.
Yeah, it's because I'm in the zone by zoning out, that's why.
Fair.
A long day. I was so focused on Gran Turismo 7 for about 3 hours a day that just wanted to beat Paul K's time. Still couldn't do it in the Group B race or whatever it was, the second race.
The Group B?
Or not the Group B. It's the second race with I think it's GR4.
Races?
Yeah, dealer races.
GR4, yeah. Yeah, because Group B is a rally, I do believe.
Yep, that would be rally, the greatest racing of all time.
Yeah, a lot of people actually hate the rally, though. A lot of people hate rally in Gran Turismo. But
yeah, a lot of people don't like how the jumping is stupid. It's not great, but it's it's something. But I'm just talking about rally in general.
Yeah. But let's see though, because now we have the first safety car. We had a virtual earlier on in the race with Team Mouse having that collision with the wall. Now another driver gets taken out. Crew Steamers by going too much on the throttle at the end of Chapel right before the hanger straight. And so far, I gotta say, a good start for Drunk Pirate. Has led it from turn 1 and is still in the lead of this race. Just unfortunate that he couldn't get that pit stop under the safety car, but he's probably going to be hoping for another safety car to end off this race, but anything can happen still.
Especially when we're going to see at least 3 more, if not 4, if not 12, to find out what happens. But everybody is basically from 11th to last with a penalty. So if that keeps up, might actually have a Ferrari in the top 10. Let pigs fly. Lazalba, though, is up to 10th from last, or not last, I guess 18th, who started last. T-Mouse is the only, well, T-Mouse and Crew Streamers are out. T-Mouse just had a hap, we had a virtual because of that. And Crew Streamers hit the wall to 100 miles an hour and went flying, so hopefully he's not dead.
Yep, I think he will be okay, though. It's a heavy hit. Those Formula 1 cars are built to be safe. And we're still waiting on Tia Silva to actually catch up with the pack, though. And he's taking his nice, sweet time as he makes his way around Cup's corner now.
He's trying to warm up those tires or help his teammate Folksy try to nurse these tires. As he has no helmet. I don't know that's legal. It's definitely not safe. You talk about the cars being safe. Guess that car is so damn safe you don't have to wear a helmet.
Well, it looks like it's the same thing with Leclerc as well. So he's going to be having a little bit of he's wanting some windshield wipers at this point. But now the safety car is in this lap, a late safety car call here. So let's see how Drunk Pirate takes this now, especially in these wet conditions. It's going to be tough to go in that throttle early.
She's dripping, soaking wet. Yeah, it felt right. So it is in.
It felt right. Yeah, that's good. To be honest with you, that's all that matters.
That's what she said. Boyer trying to catch the Drunk Pirate here at the launch. He got a good launch. Simpson right on that ass. I'm trying to get up there. But they're actually pretty spaced out here, the top 3, 4, 5. The Folksy's coming in there hot. Can't do nothing yet. They're Owen. They're creeping around here like a shark in butter.
Oh, and Dylan's trying to... That's like Dylan's like key thing here. Trying to go on the inside there of Loop. And it's just struggling there.
Got around Leclerc. Or didn't.
Yeah, it's very tough though, because the thing is, a lot of these drivers are like I would be in the same boat with them. Just like they're a little bit like cautious on the throttle. They don't want to like battle out with someone and go on the throttle too much and spin it around. So they're just trying to play the safe game, as there's only around 16 laps left around Silverstone.
Well, that section already is troublesome to accomplish that in the dry, let alone the wet. It's like walking on. This is literally like walking on ice in like, I don't know, flat shoes or dress shoes.
Yep, they're gonna be. Imagine an ice Formula One race with like, instead of rubbers, they actually use like spikes on the wheels.
Hasn't Red Bull done stuff like that before at promo events?
Yeah, they have, yeah. But I remember they were like struggling with actually like with the vehicle's condition at the end of that. But I think it would be a pretty cool concept. Like imagine like probably even like an Alaskan Grand Prix or something like that. I think that would be pretty cool.
Something. I'm just trying to think. What if they did them all-wheel drive? That wouldn't work.
They went into a desert, but they struggled with like keeping the engine cool because obviously desert. But LZ Elbow, woo, has a little bit of a drifting session here tonight. A little bit of a slide, collects the dirt a little bit.
Almost bumped into Pat. Goddamn cat. What was I gonna say? Arctic Penguin, Sam Brooks back in 6th. Slowly watching that championship run away from him. Can't push anything. Is not able to get anything going here. Hopefully, he can still rebound. Be interesting to see if the rain does let up. That would make everything kind of out the window.
Yep, sorry.
Okay, everything's supposed to fall all over my room.
Oh, your cat's going crazy?
Well, I meant to pick up the cat that knocked over other stuff. It's good stuff. Okay, y'all gotta go. Yeah, go right there and do something.
I think I have a funny story for you though. There was actually one time when I was doing commentary in a different league. One of my cats brought in a bird.
Well, that's ridiculous.
All you would hear like the teddy, like the little pats of like their feet in the ceiling, and the bird's flying all over the place. I'm trying to catch this freaking bird. I missed out on the entirety of the fucking race.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that'd be enough. I mean, I would probably have to run out of the house if there was a bird going on. That's just what would happen.
I got my broom.
Truck Pirate, fastest lap. Oh, we got somebody down, somebody out. We got sector 2 and 3.
There goes Leclerc.
Yeah.
Leclerc is now spun.
Okay.
Had a little bit of contact there with Dylan, and just hasn't recalibrated himself for the rejoin. And I think, wait, what was that I just saw? He got 10 seconds of time penalties because of that as well. So Leclerc now up to 16 seconds. But Drunk Pirate is just miles ahead of everyone at this point. Been gone for a few days, well, a few weeks, and it just shows that Drunk Pirate is just on another level at this point.
Owen, who wrecked in qualifying, is running fourth right now. Don't know if they. I guess I could actually look at the tires on this, since there was some stuff. So yeah, 11 laps for the top 4. I guess they're thinking they can nurse that for a while. 9 laps for Spectra from the Ferrari, who's running 12th. And Brooks still again going on younger tires. Can't get anything really going. Folksy's been pretty balls out, best he could in this so far today. But neither one of them can seem to keep up with the. You know what's really impressive is David Boyer still second. Like didn't get it done in the wet.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at a yellow flag on the field.
On the field?
But, well, on the field. Be quiet.
15 yards, holding 15 yards, false start.
5 second. What's it called? 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's right. So, the sun's going on.
Yes, De Silva has a spin around as well. Harris, his position is a little bit glitched with the intervals. He's actually ahead of a Qatar man Khan. So he is actually in 11th, but the game just having a little bit of a
Oh, they're bumping. Who's that? That was Folksy and Brooks. They bumped. They're all side by side going through that section, like they were grinding. But yeah, Harris actually on that dial-up internet is showing lagging here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see. Hopefully it does not mess up any of the other drivers out there. But at this point, De Silva is hoping, absolutely praying for a safety car in this race, just so we can have another chance here at Silverstone. But with it right now, I don't see that happening anytime soon.
I'm bored here with Simster. Is he going to try to push something here? He's decently close to Boyer. If he can try to push into one of these corners and try to nudge his way underneath.
Oh, and there goes De Silva again. At the end of Chapel, you can see him like spun off the track, and he's just letting all the drivers through, not trying to interfere. But now Pat, he's looking on Folksy now. At the end, he's looking towards the hangar straight up, still around the outside. Can he get the job done? He's still there. He has the better traction.
Oh, wait, around! Oh, God! They're dead! They died. Oh, yeah, he had the traction, but he went way wide. He went to a portion where you're just not going to get traction. Came around, collided with Folksy.
Well, hold on. We had 2 other crashes as well. So we have Folksy and Pat just then. We also have Leclerc spun around. And we also had T. De Silva get knocked out. What is happening here? 4 drivers being taken out at the same time in different places.
Must have been a gust of wind. Somebody farted and it just went wide, but no, that was rather insane.
I'm having a sandwich with mustard in it. So.
Is that what justifies that?
I don't know. Hey, those mustard farts can really get them.
Prior to that, Sam Brooks had gotten around Folksy. Thank God for that, because he would probably just quit if he got taken out again. So Sam Brooks did get around them before they had that. Pat was a little bit. He wanted to make it stick. He was aggressive. Yeah.
But there was just some sort of connection. I think they interlocked what's called wheels there. So I think that was what really happened there. But honestly, it is unfortunate to see. It is.
The problem is, you were saying De Silva's praying for a safety car. Well, he got one. Too bad he was part of it. So he's done. But what this does, you're going to see Drunk Pirate, Boyer, and Simster and Owen probably pit here.
Or should they? That's the only question, though. Because, actually, hold on. I'm actually going to look this up. Because
I don't think you have to pit if it's raining.
If it's a wet race, do F1 drivers need to make a pit stop?
Say hello to your 1998 IBM keyboard for me. And
sure,
Fire's coming in.
This is his reply.
Or is he? Yes. So Boyer went into the pits, and that was the only one.
Alright, so... Oh yeah, here we go. So F1 cars have to stop at least 2 different tire compounds during a race. However, if the race starts in wet, there is no need to make a pit stop.
Exactly. Did not think
they
so.
could actually just go out.
No,
they
could
actually just stay out.
And the thing is, both the guys in the top three are really good in the wet. Obviously, the leader of the race, he can nurse that home. But for some reason, Boyer did pit. I think he should have stuck with it unless he was really struggling, because it doesn't look like this rain's going to let up at all. But right now, I think Pirate can definitely nurse us home. We're over there's about a third left of the race. And I don't see that weather changing. It would be cool to go dry for like 3 laps. Everybody pits and there's a shootout. They don't let the lap cars by, and then Max Verstappen wins the championship again. But no, we'll have to see here. He's the type of driver, like I said, he's been the best in the wet this year from what I've seen. When we've been in the
Max
wet.
Verstappen, yeah, definitely.
No, I'm talking about Drunk Pirate, best in the wet. We've seen this year on this.
Max Verstappen up tier 2 then. How about that?
Yes. So Sam Brooks is back and forth. Survived another crash. He's improving. Is that a term? His chances for the championship, especially since the points leader was late to the party today. Probably because he thought it started at 6 like I did, Eastern time. I don't know where he's based out of, but clearly I think there was a little bit of confusion there for him.
Yeah, because I have the daylight savings same time as the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when did we have it? We had it like near the beginning of the month.
It's like March 15th or March 13th or something like that.
And in the UK they had it on the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was doing commentary on the 27th, I was completely confused.
Yeah, but I just know where Harris is actually at in the points or in the standings instead of plus 2.5 minutes.
He is currently ahead of Bubbers for the time being, so he's actually up in 9th place.
We do have a Ferrari in the top 10. We'll get there if half the track gets out and they don't wreck. So damn, Pat, Folksy.
There goes Drunk Pirate. He started off.
We were going green. We got another yellow. Maybe that's something to do with Harris.
It's that glitch. It's that glitch with, yeah. It's going to be yellow flags all over the field. No one is allowed to get an overtake. And this is kind of not what you want to see.
Are they actually going to get penalized for that?
They would get penalized. As we just saw contact between LZ Albo, Guitarman, well, actually, Arctic and Dylan there. And same goes with Bubbers getting passed as well. Harris has actually just let everyone
Comes
through.
Khan.
Harris is in the wall. Hold on. Go to Harris real quick. Do you see that?
Yeah, his dial-up internet has failed us.
No.
He's out. He's out finally. No, he's not.
No. What a view of the pit stop area. I love it. I love
It's good stuff. So hopefully hopefully the game will just sort him out. As Lozalbo up to 6th now after starting 18th and not qualifying. It's around Khan. Brooks now up to 3rd. Got around Owen at some point. We were too busy watching somebody spin their wheels in the gravel. But Sam Brooks back on the podium currently on fresher tires. I mean, they're only going to heat up so much, but Simster sitting 2nd. David Boyer might be biting himself in the butt here, trying to get back around Dylan. He's back in 11th after running in 2nd the entire race. Don't know if he's going to be able to gain to get back to where he was at. Oh, we got a Ferrari in 9th.
Yeah, but I think that you're going to actually like to see this, though, actually. So Harris, even though he left the session and we have green flags on the field, his car is still going around, and I do gotta say, he's on 3 wheels at the moment, so...
Yeah, there's a line there. Good old Codemasters. Yeah.
Gotta love it. How much did we pay for this game?
I didn't pay anything. I reviewed it, so...
Wow.
Yeah. So yellow in sector 1 again. Is that him? Nope. Who is that? Khan?
Guitarman Khan. He is not having a good race.
Change his name to the Spinster. Spinmeister. Because he spins a lot. But no safety car as we see the roulette here of Drunk Pirate. Henry in sector 2. Sam Brooks trying to close in on Simster. Owen right on the tail. If Owen pushes this, he might be able to catch Sam Brooks on that backstretch.
Barber's let David Boyer through there.
They're teammates. They are teammates.
Yep.
So
It was close though, cause it looked like Barbers was gonna defend it for a sec. But in the end, he did let him through, so it's good to see.
well, Ferrari's in 7th. Let's take a look here. Spectra quietly, even with a penalty, is ahead of Dillon. Is ahead of Boyer. This is the best Ferrari has looked all year. Maybe you should stick with this driver going forward.
Well, don't jinx him now. No don't commentators curse the Ferrari. They've already been cursed throughout this entire season, Al Feldman. Come on now.
Well, it's not NASCAR, so it's not as bad in esports F1. Already Penguin fastest lap.
Ooh, so he's been on a push now. Oh,
DRS
has been enabled? It's still raining.
That's something's broke.
I think Michael Massey is still in this game, isn't he?
I guess so. Well, he made the right choice anyways, but yeah, I don't know if that's just it's open, flaps are open. Make sure nobody spins out though. You get too much speed, that back end's gonna come out in the wet. That's kind of weird.
Does this give you does this actually make the drivers think, should they go on a set of slicks?
No. It's still is there rain? No, there's rain. I'm looking at it.
There is rain, but it's just, why is DRS enabled? I don't get this.
Hacks. Lazalbo meant to put it on for himself, and they ended up putting it on for everybody. That's he's in 6th.
Well, let's see this now. Looks like someone's having fun with the door.
So 1 through 3 are out of DRS range, but Owen is, and those flaps are open. Gonna run down here. Sam Brooks, can he bust it the inside? Ooh, Sam Brooks went kind of wide there, got in the grass. Better watch it because it's wet. Oh, coming under, cannot quite get under him. Penguin came with in the AlphaTauri. Wow, this is some tight racing right here. Nice camera view for once. Right on the wheels, right on them tires. Flashy lights. This is a spot 2. It is not a spot. The other spot is coming out of Sector 1, going into Sector 2. Is the other DRS zone. I mean, the big DRS zone where passing happens here is through Sector 3 on that backstretch. Ooh, he kind of... Yeah, he kind of pushed it right there. Brooks better watch this. But, there, wow, that was close. Owen just teasing at this point. Like blowing on his balls or something. Here we go, coming out. It's open. Can he get on the outside? Oh, good defense there by Brooks. Can't cut it underneath, but we do have Ferrari. Look at that. Spectrum actually getting around Albo on the DRS. Albo's not going to be happy about that. He's going to wave his finger, and then something's going to happen.
He just goes hippity-hoppity Aston Martin with boost.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I'm not too sure. I don't do anything of that. But
fairy tales.
Like Owen is, yep. Well, Owen is right on the tail end of Sam Brooks here. But as they make their way through, Magus Beckett's in Chapel. Since we are coming to the near end of this race, around like a quarter left of this race,
we got guys on softs.
Who?
Dylan and Boyer are on softs. They pitted.
Oh, well, let's see how fast they do. Owen and Sam Brooks now giving themselves a little bit of a battle. Sam Brooks breaks a little bit later to hold the position.
Oh, he goes around! He goes around! Oh, did he save it? 10-second penalty.
There.
Who hit who?
Wow. Owen hit the back end of Sam Brooks and made him slide onto the grass. And those 10-second penalty could be lifted off here. But that is definitely not going to be looking good for Sam Brooks. Owen now trying to go around the outside of... What's this? What's this going on? I have the list. Hold on. They're around loop now.
Turn 1.
Or that Village.
Yeah, Village. Village people. I don't know how... Like, Sam Brooks went off the track, came back on 3rd, got a 10-second penalty, even though he was punted. So, really, that might just cost him the championship. Somebody else is down in Sector 1. Who is that?
That's Guitarman Khan. Well, it looks like he's going to have to be changing that name like you said.
Spinmeister. Owen, though, if he really did punt, that's not good. Penguin now getting around Brooks. Oh, just that string of bad luck for 2 races. That's another, and this is a freebie too, because at 10 seconds, he might finish 9th because Khan is 10th, and he's 10 seconds behind 9th. So, Brooks might get a point out of this.
Well, Spectre will be pushed up to 5th if that's the case. And Arctic now going to go ahead of Owen. And you can see Owen not making the same mistake on Sam Brooks.
Simster once again can't really capitalize, can't quite get in the DRS zone.
Ooh. Hold on. I just received word. Who we have a spin-off? Sam Brooks has spun around again. And then you see the Haas of Bubbers make his way through. So now Sam Brooks could be down to 9th to 10th place. But I just received word actually from Paige. She's been watching she's been practically Jack's or Drunk Pirate's engineer. Drunk Pirate is on 78% tire wear on those tires, so he's in puncture range. So this will be very, very close to see who will come out on top and if he'll have a puncture at the end.
Borer with the fastest lap so far on those softs. So, I mean, they're making it work, but there's too much to climb back there. He can't even get around Dylan. He probably would have been better off just sticking with the wets to begin with, and he probably would have finished on the podium. Somebody should talk to his engineer about his strategy. That was not a good idea.
Yeah, but things changed midway, and...
Spectre, let's go. Forza Ferrari. Let's get this shit. Let's eye this podium.
Fourth here.
Flaps are open. Let's see if we got a move coming on Owen. See if they can close the gap. Not enough there. Unless he pushes it really hard to get close. No, there's not enough there. Owen nailed the penalty, though. But so does Spectre. Let's take a look at our penalty situation. 9-second penalty for Spectre. Well, he's not going to finish in 5th. But Bubbers and Sam Brooks all have like really high penalties. Be interesting shake-up at the end, but we all know who's winning this thing so far. Pretty much a lock-in for Drunk Pirate and his tumultuous return to his hometown race. So,
well, that's if he can make those tires last. He is in puncture range. And you could see the deterioration of those tires. Just look at that. You could just see like that straight line on the inside of those tires.
But here's the thing. Simster's on the same thing. So Simster's in 2nd. He hasn't pitted. Same.
Oh, Spectre von Owen. They're going side to side. Ferrari versus Red Bull, as we saw at the beginning of the new Formula One season. And just like the Formula One season, Ferrari comes out on top.
Yeah, it makes it 6 so far. Let's see if Owen comes back at that brilliant drive. This is definitely Ferrari's best showing for a race since I've been here overall. And then another time penalty for Spectre, so it's not even really going to matter. Lizalbo's still quietly in 6th. He's definitely cooled off. Not sure what he's waiting on. I guess at this point, Lizalbo will actually be on the podium from 18th because of the penalties in front of him as long as he does not incur a penalty. Actually, if Drunk Pirate and Simster have a puncture, Lizalbo could win this race.
Could win, yeah, he could win this. The only thing is, if you were Drunk Pirate or Simster, Feldman, you saw the degradation of those tires, how would you try to nurse those tires until the end?
Just don't push it. Coast to the corners. Don't push it. Don't get on it. As long as you keep your pace up ahead of everybody else, should be fine. Owen's pitting, so Lizalbo already in 5th. Owen is coming in for softs with 3 laps to go. I really don't see the purpose of that unless he can get back. Well, he will get back out in front of Sam Brooks, so I don't see Owen winning this race, but no, he's starting to lose a spot. Now, this is a very long pit road. So, yeah, I don't know if that was the best decision. We got a couple other guys coming in, it looks like, too. A little bit too late there. I don't know if they're trying to push for something here at the end. Might as well not fix what ain't broke.
Exactly. But it just makes you question, though. There's 26 laps. They're currently on 23. Do you think 26 laps is just a few laps too much? Because if you actually remember, not last season, but the season before, on the final few laps of Silverstone, we saw both Bottas and Hamilton get a puncture on their front left.
Correct.
So, do you think we could be seeing a recreation of that here tonight?
I know, but Simpson's clearly losing grip. Because he's losing a lot of time. Now Arctic is going to catch him. Drunk Pirate, no. If anything's going to happen, I see it happening with Simpson. Drunk Pirate is just that talented.
Oh,
especially
Penguin!
Oh, he's off. He tried to go for the pass and failed. He was going to get around Simpson. That did not work out.
He had a little bit of a slippery exit there of Stowe and was just able to save himself going into the wall. So a good save there, but definitely lost a lot of momentum.
Simpson trying to creep back in. I don't know. Again, Lizalbo, I think he's nursing this home too. He sees the potential, what can happen. He'll be happy where he says. David Boyer is back up to 8th. And unfortunately, another disappointing day for Sam Brooks, who had an opportunity to take control of the championship and does absolutely not. So we'll break out the tires. We see half the field is on softs, except for Harris in the back, which I think is just delayed. He's way behind.
Yeah.
Dylan, Boyer, Owen, Bubbers, Sam Brooks, Guitar Man, Khan. On softs, everybody else on still in the intermediates with about 3 laps to go. Khan with the fastest lap if you don't spin.
Yep, and Dylan has just gone past mellowed space, so the softs is actually starting to creep up with the intermediates now. So it looks like Dylan could be on a huge surge at the end of this race to gain us a lot of positions here, but it's just going to be close. It's just going to be as close as you can get.
I'm bored here with Lizalbo, and you heard in the first person view just how much he's nursing these tires, and there's at least 15 laps on those. These things for these leaders, here we go. Get a sound.
What happened?
No, I was trying to, because it was in first person, I was just trying to listen to Drunk Pirate's tires. Well, not his tires, but what he was doing with the engine to see how, if he was overdoing it or how he was nursing these tires. So Harris is asking, how is my AI still racing? I don't know, ask Codemasters. But yes, Harris is still in here, but Harris is not in here. Boy, he basically took that like a shopping cart at Walmart going around that corner. That was slow.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. He's just trying to just go until the end. Just try and be very, very cautious. And if I was him, do not go on those curbs, because those curbs have those little spots that give you a little bit of extra grip. Dylan has now spun around, and he is now down to 8th.
Sam Brooks is the fastest lap for what that's worth, but you get a point if it stays that way. But Colin comes back with a faster lap, so that's quickly gone. I'm not going to talk about Sam Brooks because I've clearly ruined his chance at the championship. Guitar Man's contact that wide, of course. But yes, stay off the curves if you're these top 2. I hope something stupid doesn't happen in these last 2 laps because...
Oh, there we go! The front left is punctured on Drunk Pirate! His left front is punctured as he makes his way through Maggots and Beckett's. Oh, no!
So when does it happen to Simster? Because here comes Penguin. Penguin's going to have the pace. Hopefully, these guys got to get out of the way, though. If that puncture's there, he's got to get out. Yeah, they just took each other out.
Oh, no!
Simster in the lead! What's that going to hold off for? Pirate's trying to come in here and pit. He's able to make it back to the pits.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, you can't defy physics. Because the same thing's going to happen.
Simster has a puncture, too.
Yeah, there it goes. So we know that it's 24 laps and you're done on those tires. So Spectrev, well, he's got like a 15-second penalty. So Simster, Lizalbo's going to win this race. Oh, and there goes Simster. Tire completely fell off. This might finish under yellow. Lizalbo's going to win this race.
Oh, no.
And somehow David Boyer, I think, is still going to finish second. So Lizalbo's so you got to pit once. You don't have to pit, but you probably should pit once. So Lizalbo's going to win this race as long as he has nothing dumb happen. Yeah, Penguin and Spectrev, definitely Ferrari's best showing this year, but this season. But he's got like 9,000 penalties, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, but you still gotta feel bad for the man as well. You
But
still
here's,
gotta feel bad for
can Poyer
Pirate.
make up 10 seconds in a lap? Half a lap? No, he's only
I
gonna
don't
make
think
up. He's
so.
gonna make up what, 8? He's gonna make up 8 seconds. I mean, I don't know what that pace is. Owen with the penalty. Plus, Boyer's got a penalty. You know, Lazabo has locked this up. Aston Martin's gonna win the race from 18th place, and a lot of it is on very early good driving, very good early driving, and
Oh,
then
and Drunk
strategy.
Pirate just crashed out.
He is done too. So we only got what, 11 people in the. No, we got 10 people to finish this race, and one without a penalty, and that one is Lazalbo as he creeps around the final section. Comes across the checkered line in Silverstone, winning the Grand Prix of Britain in the wet. Brilliant drive early on. Penalty for qualification. Doesn't matter. Farts his way across the field. Takes everybody out. Survives the devastation. Finishes first. Penguin is second. Spectre on third still. We might have to let this settle out and see what happens after everything loads. But I think that's locked in. I think we got a Ferrari on podium. Boyer finished fourth. Wow. And Sam Brooks might as well kiss. Well, I wouldn't say that. There's still a chance for him to win this, but I don't. It's gonna be tough. He's had 2 weeks now of opportunity to do something for the championship, and it's been squandered. Meanwhile, Lazalbo, you got to wonder if he raced from the beginning of the season, if he wouldn't have dominated this tier this year.
Yep, and one person that's going to be crawling his way towards the finish line now is going to be Simster. As you can see the condition of that car on that rear left. Wow,
Guess what?
wow, wow.
Well, he gets a point though, don't he? Probably for what it's worth.
I mean, yeah, he does get a point, so he does get something. Sam Brooks gets a 20-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags at the end of the race, so we're going to remember to take that off of him, as he finished in 9th place.
Well, don't forget, it's disappointing because the stewards in the game decided to give him 10-second penalty for being punted off the track, and his car never rebounded. So I don't really understand. They're gonna have to sort that out in the back end. Thank God it's not an online Codemasters league mode. Because that's kind of screwed, so they're going to have to figure out what happens there. I don't know if you add the 10 seconds back and it puts him somewhere else. That's not my job. I'm not paid to do that. But anyways, Lazalbo, brilliant drive from 18th. Ferrari on the podium. That was an insane race in the wet. That is probably the most entertaining wet race I've seen since doing this.
Yeah, but that's going to be it for Prospect eRacing League, ladies and gentlemen, for Tier 2 at Silverstone, where we were shocked by a wet condition race, mixed conditions at the end of the race as well, and Alzad Albo is the one to come out on top. A clean race, no time penalty, started at the near the back of the grid, and it is an extraordinary race from him, but unfortunate for the ones that lost it right at the end. Drunk Pirate being one of them as well.
Yeah, driver of the day definitely goes to Lazalbo, but Spectre in the Ferrari definitely deserves. He needs to be a full-time seat for that team. Maybe he's just better in the wet than dry, but yeah, we had it locked up. Alpine had this thing in the bag. It looked like to start, and all of a sudden the rain changed it all. And both Simster and and the Pirate got greedy, hoping they can make it at the end, and did not. And then we all saw the wreck between Pat, and the other guy, Owen. Well, very brilliant race, and we go down to the finale next week, which I'm not sure where that's at. I'm just assuming that it's set up to go to Abu Dhabi. Is that correct?
When in doubt, look it up. So hold on, give me a sec. Race schedule is actually at Austria at the Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, it's possibly my favorite track in the circuit for racing. It's like the short track of Formula One. It's really good, but yeah. Well, until next week then. Still live. Where's the button? There it is. Bye.